right, so nice to meet you. And we'll see you Monday for the division meeting. Make sure you have that big long time. All right, guys, let's roll. Can we pull on in? We have people kind of everywhere. That's cool. All right, so I want to go into push schedule, goals breakdown, and kind of walk through just some keys to your demo to make sure that we're set up for success. So the rest of today, organization, push setup. All right, I'm going to walk through. I'm going to give you guys a document called 7 Steps to a Sale, which is huge. We're going to go through, Jonathan's going to go through some phone tips. We have Frank coming in to walk through the cookware, the flatware, the accessories. I'm going to go through closing the kitchen, and we're going to wrap up, all right? But I want to make sure we're set up. So I think about a push, and Andy, nailed some of the stuff. Obviously, I've been working with him forever, so a lot of stuff is the same. It's just what's the initial setup. So to review, all right, before the push starts right now, do your friends and family know what's about to go down? Cool? Think about it as boot camp. Like you're going to boot camp or you're going to preseason for a couple weeks. Like when I played volleyball, we had 3 days for 2 weeks, all right? We had 3 days, and then we went into normal 2-a-days as we were going into season. And this was real, busy time, all right? And is there anyone else that didn't pay for their binders? I know people gave me binder money. All right. So this is the time of the year where, you've got to make sure friends and family, some of you guys is your first time, so you're like, you have no idea. But this is, you've got to make sure they know, hey, we're about to go down, and let them know. This is Super Bowl of our company. Cool? This is also your training grounds. This is 2.5 weeks where you really show what you're made out of. Just so you guys know what these 2.5 weeks means to me for GCK. All right? This is where we scout. This is where I scout. This is where I look to see, who steps up, who communicates at the highest levels. Every single one of you guys should be communicating. Right now, I have 9 people out of a room of a lot. There's a lot more than 9. I'm going to pass this around so you can put your office, your name, your email, your phone number, your parents' name, and your parents' email. Whoever I should email, your mom or your dad. But I want to email and introduce myself, and I want to let them know what the heck's about to go down. Because this is, for someone where this is like their first time, and you're good, also, you can pass it over. For someone that this is their first time going through this, like I want them to understand, what the objective is through this process, and also the doors that it can open up for you guys, okay? Because when you're sharing with customers, and I think about when you guys fill this sheet out right here, all right? And I want you guys looking at this. We're going to do numbers breakdowns, and then we're going to fill this out. I have a sheet for you guys to utilize, but you're sharing with them, what this push can do for you. So being brand new, what does this do for you? So for some of you guys, it's paying off school, all right, and making sure things are set up the right way, all right. Can you grab Anthony? He just walked out. Can you just do me a favor and make sure we're all in here? Can you guys? We have this row here empty. Can we move in? People from the back, Brian, all you guys, can we scooch in? I like everybody up. I hate empty chairs. If you don't know that already, know that already. Move in, fill in the empty chairs, please. Move in, fill in. I hate empty chairs with a passion. It's one of my pet peeves. And I have ADD like crazy, and I can't focus when I see empty chair, 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 empty. Yeah, all those, fill them in. All right, so please fill them in. That's why I say scoot in or scoot up, so we're good. So when you guys are going through, so for you, what can this push be? So some of you, it's money. Cool? Money for what? For me, it was to be able to study abroad. I had to pay for school. My family couldn't afford to pay for school. I had to take care of it. Mario Sabates is one of 6 kids. His family, they have money. They could pay for school. But he said, hey, Miss Jones, I don't want my parents to have to worry about me because I'm one of 6 kids. And I want to be able to show them that I am self-sufficient and that I can get this done. And so when he shared with them, that's something that he always shared with his customer, like, oh, it's awesome. I want to be a little bit more independent. I want to be able to give back, to my parents. I want to give back to other people, and making sure that, he was set up and he shared that with customers. So if it's money, for what? What is it going for? How does it benefit you? Experience, opportunities, how about your resume? So 2 big things a lot of people are usually working for: money and experience. So money, again, identifying the things that it'll do setting you up financially, helping your family, helping pay for school, taking a stress reliever off your parents, not having to borrow, ask mom and dad for everything, but being able to have your stuff. But also, when it comes to experience, have you guys identified all the things that it can do for your resume? So being, in the top 1%, 10% of, the division of the nation, or, helping lead us to #1 in the country, all right? And guys, this is something that, again, the more you guys communicate, like there's some of you guys that I've gotten a chance to talk to and connect with, and there's others that I haven't, and I want to make sure that you guys are, connecting and letting me know what's happening through GroupMe is my #1 best source of communication is GroupMe, all right? And you can message me via GroupMe. I have my, Texas number that some of you guys have gotten messages from. I have my Florida number as well. GroupMe is the easiest for me because that's on everything. It's on my computer. It's on my phones. I always see what's happening on GroupMe. So that's my easiest form of communication. But I want to know what's going on with you. I want to know what's happening. And I want to know, who you are. Like those who communicate with me, like I know who you are. And so I can put a face with a name and really be able to support you guys the right way. And again, as we're looking to build our leadership team for next year, my priority is my pilot office, is my guys. All right, I want my guys to take the top spots. But as a division manager, I'm looking who is the top 20% in all of our, who are the guys that stand out in every office. So can you be that person? My office knows they're not going to see me a ton because I'm going to be traveling through the push to different offices. And I'm going to be visiting different organizations, and I'm going to be meeting and interviewing people for our Leadership Academy. So you guys got earlier when you guys came back from the break, from lunch break, you should have gotten this on your guys' seat, all right? Who did not get one of these, by the way? All right, so anyone who didn't get one of these, so this right here, all right, you guys can grab one. Actually, can you help me get these to whoever? Raise your hand if you didn't get one, so we can get one to you. This, you guys can make a note. You cannot submit this until you're over 6,000 in career sales. You will not be accepted into our Leadership Academy or events program until you are over Dirty 30. Cool? You have to be over 30% commissions to be accepted into our leadership program. Whether you're working events, you're working booths, you're going into our Leadership Academy, learning, how to run an office, run a business, or land an internship. When it comes to my academy and the training that I do, must be over Dirty 30. Cool? Some of you in this room are already over Dirty 30. So you can submit an application. Just because you're there doesn't mean you're in. So this is an application so that when I come around, I can make sure to take time to meet with you and walk through individually for this. So your manager will be talking to you guys about this, but this is a management candidate questionnaire. It goes through and it's a couple pages. And even afterwards today, if you want to stay and fill this in and submit it, the earlier you submit them, by the way, the more that stands out to me. It's kind of like in school when someone sends in a letter of commitment early for sports or for anything and says, hey, I'm in, like this is where I'm going, and they sign early, it means a lot to the school because they know, like, this is where you want to be, all right? So that's something that you guys can fill out at the end. So this push period, all right, stay with me here. I know there's papers and things going around, but stay with me, is designed to set you guys apart. So we can find who's our new leadership team, who are our new Dirty 30 people, who are our new guys going to be field sales managers, who are going to be the next group of our events team working with these guys at the shows all across Gulf Coast, maybe even nationally, going out and making half baby. Who are the people who are going to be moving into roles where they are leading other people, coaching other people as managers, assistant managers, branch managers, or district managers. Like I was a district manager for 10 years. I freaking love being a district manager. Andy has been a Cutco sales professional for 10 years. He loves being out in the field. Everybody's wired differently. We want to teach you guys the foundations of what it is to run a business, what it is to go through. Our whole Leadership Academy is designed to teach you those skill sets, and then you see how you're going to utilize that experience for your future. Cool? So whatever jobs, whether you stay with Cutco or you leave Cutco, or pursue other things, but still you can always Cutco on the side, or full-time like Andy did even when he was gone, you always have that as a source of income, which is amazing. You know, like people are always like, when do you stop selling Cutco? I'm like, when I die? I'm like, I would never stop selling Cutco. Like I have 500 customers and I keep getting more. Every year I make an extra 10 to 15 grand. That's more than most families save in a year. I earn that randomly through sending some emails to my past customers saying, hey, hope you're awesome. You know, and they're like, oh, I need stuff for Mother's Day. Oh, I need stuff for Christmas gifts. And I sell stuff. Right now we have what? Christmas in July. I was getting my nails done yesterday when there was like the Ellen show was on, and then after, or there was a what was it, like some show where you like can win stuff like the old Price is Right. I think that is what it is actually. It's just like a new guy, you know. I'm used to the old white guy that ran Price is Right forever. All right, but anyway, so they had, and by the way, everyone was dressed in Christmas clothes. Like one of the families came down and little kids dressed like a little snowman, you know. And they're like Christmas in July on the, you know, and they're going through like where they can win stuff or whatever and questing prices. But I saw that and I just started laughing. But it's like it's a thing. People know. You see it on the TV. You see it in commercials, or you see it in your emails and different specials happening. It's Christmas in July right now. I mean, capitalizing on that, you know. So that's something that we'll share with customers. But anyway, back to what I was saying is you guys have something that you can develop as a source of income that's always there. So I always put out specials now for Christmas in July. I'll put out specials in the fall for the holidays. I'll put out specials for, you know, Mother's Day stuff. You know, so 3-4 times a year, I'll throw out a special, and I'm always getting sales. So we want to show you guys how to build a long-term business. I know Eric Gilman on August 6th, he'll be going through a big talk on turning your Cutco knife into a long-term business. And he is Hall of Fame member, one of the top Cutco sales professionals in Cutco West, and is out of San Diego, California. So we'll go through that. And it starts with, you know, how do you tie your customers into you? Do they like you? Do they like what you're up to? You know, so sharing with them. So for you guys right now, so rewind. 1, prep properly, right? We talked about get your toiletries, get your car service, get all your stuff done, clean your room, get your classes picked, do whatever the heck you have to do. That you don't have to worry about anything from Monday to August 6th. Like nothing to worry about. Cool? So how much can you take care of now? Papers, projects, things for summer school, anything you can take care of now, this week versus later. Now this week, you also want to make sure to get 10 to 15 appointments done around your schedule, whether it's 2 days or 3 days or whatever it is. You want to get at least 10 to 15. Some of you guys who want to go for $20,000, $30,000 pushes, I'd be doing at least 15 demos this week because that means 150, 200, 300 new recommendations going into the weekend to crush through, to load up next week, all right? So making sure, again, you prep yourself the right way. So have you taken care of all your personal stuff? Have you talked to friends and family and said, hey, dude, I'm out of town for the next 2.5 weeks, or it's like, I'm in boot camp, you know? There's a training. What I was saying with this was I'm keeping a lookout during this time. I was talking to Christian's mom yesterday, and Christian, I said, you know, if somebody can't get through 2.5 weeks of our boot camp, there's no way that I want them in leadership with GCK. I don't want them to be someone I point to, you know, like when I'm going to send people to go work events or shows, run offices, be assistant managers, and they can't hack 2.5 weeks of challenges, because you will have lots of challenges. If they can't do that, there's no way I can have them in a leadership role. These next 2.5 weeks says a lot about your character, says a lot about your resilience, you know. And by the way, some of you guys are like, oh, I don't know if I can make it. Yes, you can. Stop telling yourself you can't. This is where you grow past that shit and you say, I will make it through the next 2.5 weeks, no matter what. And Andy had and I'll get his old creed. I remember he had shared with Miami that he typed out that he would read each day when he went for the record, which he broke some years back. And he, every single day, he had like a long thing that he would read to himself and say everything. It was like, I will not quit no matter what, you know, was at the end of that, like, regardless of what happens, like, I'm going to keep pushing forward. And it's, and I'll get that. But every single day, like knowing, like right now, if you're going to be a part of this alliance, making a decision to say, I'm doing this. So auntie, boyfriend, mom, dad, brothers, sisters, for the next 2.5 weeks, it's go time. I'm going to push myself. I'm going to challenge myself. It's like 3 days for sports. You're not going to see me much, and making sure they know that. And then why? Like, I want to show myself that if I commit to something, I can finish it. That's something for some of you guys. Rachel Kipnis, I remember that was her watch. She's like, Kat, whenever anything gets hard, I always quit. Like when her and I were talking, she's like, every time something gets hard, I just don't do it. She's like, everything's always been pretty easy for me. I've had everything given to me. I know that. I'm aware of that. And she's like, and if anything's hard, she's like, I just won't do it. She's like, why? Why do it? She's like, I need to show myself and I need to show, you know, my parents that I can push through even when shit gets hard, that I'm not just going to give up and throw in the towel. And I need to show that to myself as I graduate, because I don't plan on living at home with my parents the rest of my life. And I need to be able to show myself that I can get shit done. And even when it gets hard, I'm not just going to fold. I can keep pushing forward. That was her big thing. Kim Miss didn't need money. She went to one of the top preparatory schools in the entire country, by the way, called Ransom Everglades down in Miami. All right, they filmed all sorts of movies there. Wild Things was filmed there. Abercrombie. I mean, this place is unreal. Like, I don't know that I've seen a school campus, a high school campus, that gorgeous. On the water, kids, you pull up your boat instead of like the parking lot for your cars. You pull up your boat when you get to school. All right, gorgeous. But she, you know, that was something where she's like, she had to learn certain things. And it was tough, and she had to deal with different clientele. People are like, oh, they have money. She had to learn different skill sets. For some people, and so I remember that was for her. Chris Haig, it was kind of a similar thing. Remember Ava Fox? And again, these are individuals that I had on my alliance that did not need money. They were not working for money. Money was not a motivator. But they were lazy kids who were entitled, who always had shit handed to them, and they needed to learn how to work. And that's what I challenged them in these 2.5 weeks. Learn how to work. Learn that when shit gets tough, you keep pushing. You keep moving forward, because you want to teach your kids that. You want to teach your family that, because that's how you're going to be successful. And any successful person knows that. For some of you guys, it's money for something, right? We talked about that, so it's the money thing. For some of you guys, it's opening doors. It's networking. You know, like all the experience. And some it's a combination of stuff. But it's like, Ms. Jones, I want to I'll be able to do this entrepreneurship. I want to own my own business one day, and I would love to land an internship with this company. Unbelievable support system, obviously unbelievable product, amazing people, and like this would be so cool to be able to get my first run and running a business with this company, you know, and sharing that. And they're like, oh yeah, that's awesome. And be like, so I want to stand out to be one of the top people, because guys, next summer, we're only opening 20 offices. That's it. And I've already had over 100 people ask me about it. Okay, and it is one of the best things you'll ever do in your life. It is the hardest thing you will ever do, is going out and running a business. But it is a PhD in freaking entrepreneurship. It really is in the summertime, you know, and being able to land an internship like that is ridiculous. So sharing with Ms. Jones, this is a big deal. There's only a couple hundred people nationally out of 40,000 people that get to do this internship. I really want to stand out during these next 2.5 weeks so I can have a shot at running my own branch and explaining to them what a branch is. It's a 4-month internship. I run my own business for a $250 million company. Like, how crazy is that to put on my resume, that I ran my own company for a $250 million company, Ms. Jones, at age 25, at age 17, at age 22, whatever it is. Like, that's pretty ridiculous. And be able to learn, not just in book knowledge, but be able to learn hands-on what it takes to run a business and build that resilience. Like, I'm super excited about being able to do that, Ms. Jones, and being able to stand out for that program. So I'm gonna work really, really hard to be able to be looked at as one of the top people for that program. And guys, obviously, you're not all gonna have a chance to do that this summer coming up. But if I'm you, I'm fighting like hell to be one of the top people. And you never know, even if we don't have room in GCK, they might have spots. I have some of my guys that went to Philadelphia or went to other places, and where they did still have some openings available. And because we are gonna develop some of the best people in the entire nation, you know, other managers are willing to take them into their states, you know, or their areas. But what can you do to stand out for next summer? You know, my goal is to prepare everybody to be able to earn a spot. You know, obviously with the numbers, we know that's not going to happen. But, you know, what can you do to put yourself in that spot and say, nope, I'm getting one. I'm getting one next summer. That's just what's happening. And, like, I'm going to do everything in my power to get there. All right? And if it doesn't work out for next summer, you know, you work hard. You do a management internship. You sell like hell. You put away another $10, $15, $20, $30, $40,000. You're working with the events team, you're learning, you're growing, and hopefully the next year you get a chance to do that before you go out and utilize that for your future businesses, your gym, gymnastics, you know, running a tutoring company, running your law firm, running your, you know, art studio, whatever it is. I love showing people how to run businesses. I love helping people open businesses. I'm really good at it. And it's something that I really enjoy doing. You know, so for anyone who aspires to run their own business one day, it's one of the things I'm most passionate about, is seeing people pursue their passions and doing something that they love, but being able to make it something that can also support their family, and being able to create a lifestyle where every day when you work, it doesn't even feel like work, because it's what you love to do. You know, and people are like, how do you work these long hours? How do you do all this stuff? I'm like, dude, I freaking love what I do. Like, I love the people I work with. I love what I get to do. You know, my friends are like, oh, yeah, you have to work so hard. You have limo night. I'm like, I'm working, dude. I'm like, I gotta work the crowd, you know. I gotta like hang out with these guys. They're like, oh, whatever. And I'm like, yeah, I'm going on this trip. I'm like, it's a work trip. I gotta go, you know. And they're like, oh, you know. And I'm like, I made a contest with my guys. I have to take them to Puerto Rico. And I took a group to Puerto Rico last year. We're doing a contest now to do a Miami trip, you know. And I'm like, I gotta do that. I have to take I'm taking Mary Lou to Brazil next month, you know, like that's work. She worked really hard to help us have $1 million summer, which we're gonna have, and I'm taking her to Brazil to say, hey, thank you for your hard work. That's a work trip, you know. So anyway, I love it, and I love that I get to see people grow and develop. So for you, you know, what is it that you want to gain? What is it that you're excited about? You need to know that. That's first. Second, have you broken down your numbers? Do you know what your numbers are? So we've got a couple things that I need help actually passing around. All right, and this is, we've got 3 things here. Can I have any volunteers to help us pass these around? All right, so one can go for each side with schedules. All right, then each side, here's alliance contracts. This is for 10K alliance. Some of you guys in this room might be on 6K or 3K. Don't sign this one, but you can do this with your managers. Then I need goals breakdown. Are you helping me, Austin, or are you standing there? Just looking nice, just looking nice and pretty. All right, grab this, please. Let's get that to that side, all right? So let's break down some stuff. Let's break down some numbers here. Yo, your averages. Do you know your averages? So when we're breaking stuff down here, so for the push period, you're set up, your blue book and recommendation books are set up. So do you have your blue book set up with all your goals in the front? So I have like all my sales goals, everything there, so you can share your goals with your customers, and we'll walk through that with 7 steps of a sale. Is your recommendation binder set up so you can point to it properly, and you're going through there properly? Really important, all right? You have a schedule right here that breaks down starting next week. I blocked off. This is the divisional schedule for the next 2.5 weeks, all right? As we go for number 1 nationally, this is it. Now, some of you guys might have different personal schedules, and that's okay, but I want to map this out. So guys, can we quietly, Saito, quietly go through? What I want you guys to do right now is I want you guys to block off. What do you have going on? You have summer school, Rivera. Cross out when you have class. You have another job. Here's what I'll tell you. If anyone can cover your shifts during this time, probably the best decision Taylor Max Ricart made was to take off for these 2 weeks. Like he was going away on vacation with his family. And he got off of work for those 2.5 weeks. And I said, dude, give me 2.5 weeks. I said, give me 2.5 weeks, Taylor. This is a guy who in his first 2 months sold $8,000 with us. In those 2.5 weeks, he dedicated himself, and he ended up earning in his pocket over $4,700 in those 2.5 weeks in earnings, by the way. Was one of our top push performers, you know, just right around 15K that he ended up selling for the push period, okay? And this was huge. And I said, dude, clear it up. Whatever you can do, however you can, clear it up. So go ahead and block off. Like you have church, you have family stuff, whatever you have going on. But again, these next 2.5 weeks, as much as you can open up, you want to be able to open up. Do that. Number 2, I want you to circle, and I need this, especially my guys that I'm going to be meeting with. The rest of you, your managers will meet with you. Circle the dollar signs that you want to fill. So you're like, these are times that I want to have full. Maybe you're like, I want to fill all of them. Everyone look up. I want you to circle the ones you want to fill up, and I want you to put a number at the bottom for each day. So for Tuesday, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So for me, I'd want to do 7+. Some of you guys might have, so who can you see at 11:30 at night? California. Yep. By the way, that's a great, like if you have virtuals, it's 9:30 in California. If you have people in Alaska or in Hawaii, it's even further back. So are you asking for those people? One of my best friends and his wife, they live in Alaska. They're 3 hours behind from here, all right? So those late night ones can be those. You also have people who are night owls. Are you guys asking on your demos, hey, who do you know who's a night owl? Who do you know who's up late? My sister-in-law, she gets out of the hospital late at night or 11, and she'll come home like usually up late, and then she'll sleep in the next day because she's off for 2 days. My brother's a firefighter, so he works like weird, a 24-hour shift or a 12 or 16, and then he's got like 2 days off, and he goes on again. So there's some nights where they're like up late or they get home late, or you catch different people at different times. But just ask. You're never gonna have any if you don't ask. So say, hey, who do you know who's up super late at night? Or hey, who do you know who's in mountain time or in California or in Alaska that I could do appointments with, late at night? I'm trying to fill out every possible opening, all right? So anyway, put your number at the bottom of each day, please, of what's your goal for that day. Maybe it's 3, maybe it's 4, maybe it's 7. We're going for divisional blitz days on Monday, Tuesday, Friday, and Saturdays. Obviously not this Monday. We have the division meeting to set everything up. And we have got a kick butt lineup for you guys on Monday to make sure we're ready to rock and roll. By the way, I will be teaching at my first division meeting ever in GCK. I usually open up and everybody else teaches, but there is one thing that I'm freaking amazing at that our managers were like, can you please teach this? I was like, yes, I can. So I'm on the agenda to teach, so I'm pretty excited about it. Anyway, so, and Eric Ward has got some sick stuff he's gonna go over, and we've got we put together a really great agenda for you guys on Monday. So anyway, add up your numbers. So put your number at the bottom of each day, and what's your total? Count it up. Do you have 30 openings, 40 openings, 50 openings, 60 openings, 48, 32? What's your grand total for the whole push? By the way, for those who already calculated, you need to get your number, because then I want you guys to actually calculate your stuff with your actual averages. If you guys see, I gave out a push goal breakdown sheet, all right? And this push goal breakdown sheet shows you guys what's possible. So there's 18 days of the push. 2 of them are all-day call days on Sundays. Don't mess with it. If you want to do a demo in the morning, demo at night, you're more than welcome to, but just don't mess with your Sundays. Leave those to just load up the week. But I put here 16 full days of selling, 2 all-day call days, like once the push starts, and then obviously the morning of SC2 phone order phone jam. So if you're on the 10K Alliance, what should you be focused on? 4 to 8 appointments per day, all right? Is anyone on the 10K Alliance? If you're on 6K Alliance, you should be focused on 3 or more. If you're on the 3K Alliance, you should be focused on 2 or more. Got it? This meeting was targeted towards our 10K Alliance, so this is what I have here. So 4 days. So I put here 4 demos times 16 days, all right, is 64 appointments. So I did national, regional, and then I put here your averages if you maxed out. This is, if you did 4 plus a deck, all right, 64. So it has here, if you did 64 appointments with national averages, 66% closing ratio is 42 sales. 42 times $327, which is the average order, is $13,734. Cool? It's 4 demos a day on the 16 selling days. That's what that equals with the national averages. The region average order, and actually that's wrong. It's not 359. So this was printed wrong. I apologize. But the region average order is over 400. It's over $400. All right. So it's actually higher, but you would win, one of the top levels for us. So you can do the levels that are on here, which are the 32 HD TV, Tundra, Cooler, or Cutco Galley +6, or you can do a spa day. I'm doing a spa day for whoever wants to do that. Then as your averages, all right, so you can do your averages. If you did blank appointments, closing sales, times your average order, what does your push look like? I want you guys to do this right now. You can do it 2 different ways when you guys do your goals. You can put how many appointments do you have open. So you're like, oh, I have 28 appointments open. Put here 28 times what's your average closing. If you're not sure, I would use 66%, which is national average. All right. Most people, most of our top guys are over 75%. Some of you guys know you're over 80%. I would go 5% lower than you. If you're someone who's over 80, I would map out your numbers with 5% lower just to be sure. So if you're like, I have like an 85-90, I would use 80 or 85. You know, if you're like, I know I have over 80%, just use 75% just to like make sure. But put that. So did you guys do it already? I want you guys to do this, like fill in your numbers. We're like actually doing it. Take out your phone, take out your calculator. I want you guys to put it in. So it'll tell you how many number of sales. Then you need to put your average order to see what that would be. All right? Did you not get this? Just fill in your numbers. So how many number of appointments does your schedule? So this was just like what's possible if you had a full schedule for the push. Cool? Then down here, these are two different ways. And I always like to break down my goals both ways. One is how many openings do I have, right? Because I want to see how they compare. So I'm like, all right, how many openings do I have times closing percentage? So then I can see, okay, that means that I'm going to have 32 sales. 32 sales times my average order. My average order is 478. Let's just say that's what it was. All right, then I'm going to put there. Some of you guys are much higher than that. Some of you guys are lower, and this meeting is going to help you guys get it higher. Then, you know, then that it equals what you're going to sell for it. The other way is if you say, hey, so John Austin, we're going to put here, okay, sales goal of $30,000 divided by the average order. How many sales does that come out to? So put that down to see, what does that come out to? How many sales do you need to have to sell $30,000? So divide it by your average order to see how many sales. Then you take your number of sales, whatever that number was. So let's say you have to have 20 sales divided by the closing percentage, all right? And for 30,000, it'd be more than 20 sales. So let's say it was 50 sales, okay? So I'm like, all right, 50 sales divided by closing percentage. All right, I've got to do 70 demos. You know, 70 demos, and I look at that and I'm like, all right, cool. I have that many openings available, whatever it is, all right? So just looking at those numbers. So this is something, by the way, that when you sit down with your managers in the next 3 to 5 days, you want to sit down and make sure you break down what does it look like? How many demos is it going to take? All right, so do you know right now how many you need? How many?
68.
Huh?
68 demos.
68 demos, all right? So that's very doable. You know, pick a couple blitz days, and the other days you're doing 4 more a day, and then have a couple days that you're doing some blitz days, and boom, that's how it happens. So I want you guys to see it. Because, by the way, you've got to respect the numbers. It's the law of averages. And you're going to have great days, and you're going to have shitty days, and you're going to have average days. Okay? You just got to work the numbers. You just got to make sure your numbers are booked up, your demos are booked up, and let the numbers play themselves out, all right? But you've got to commit yourself to making sure you're getting that done. So I gave you guys a schedule so you can map stuff out. I gave you guys the push-pull breakdown, all right? So you guys have the breakdown, and then you guys have the alliance contract that when you're in and you're like, I'm doing this thing, you guys need to give that to your manager and say, boom, here you go. If there's anyone in here that was invited that is on the 6K or the 3K alliance, I do also have those contracts here. So you're welcome to grab those after if you need that. So you can give that to your manager. So we can solidify, you know, who is our 10K alliance. That's where my energy will be going to throughout the division. And then who do we have on 6K? Who do we have on 3K alliance? All right. So just so you guys know that. So I want to give you guys one last thing here. I'm going to pass it on to Jonathan. I don't know, Frank, if you can tell Jonathan, he's up in like 15 minutes. But I want to give you guys some keys here. Actually, I need help passing these out as well. So get those out. But if you guys can stay focused and listen, this right here goes through 7 steps of a sale, all right? And there's just, in the beginning, again, we need to get all this stuff set up. We're going to use this when I talk about sales and closing later, but I want you guys to have this. But in the beginning, where it says build rapport, the process, who you are, what you have, what you're excited to gain from the company, what you're working on currently. All right, so those are all the goal pages that we put in there that you guys want to make sure to have set up to share with them, so you can let them know what it is you're excited about and what you're up to. And again, be open, real. I want to be the first ever to do blank amount, you know, in my office. I want to be the first ever to do blank amount in the Pearland area. I want to be the first person, you know, in Kingwood to sell blank amount in a 2.5-week period. So finding out what are the records in your office, what are the records in your area. We know what the record is divisionally, but making sure that we get that done. So I'm going to walk through I'm going to walk through this when I go through closing, and I'm going to share closing on the kitchen. And this is stuff that, by the way, I walked through last year with some of our Cutco sales professionals and really made a huge impact in their results and just really them understanding the whys. I know anyone who's been to my SLDMs, I've talked about 7 steps to a sale, but this goes in depth with just little things that you want to make sure you're nailing as you go through the process, because if you want to sell a lot of Cutco, it's a process. It's not just you did a good close. Like, yes, you need to have your close down, you need to have your basics down, but it's a process that you're going through to get to that point, all right, to get to that level. So we're going to walk through this together step by step so that you guys know how this rolls. So the first, with building rapport, that's what a lot of all this stuff fits into. Again, you share all the contests, just passionately share. Some people are like, well, what do I say? What you're excited about, you know, like what you're excited about, why you're excited about it, you know, how the whole company's competing, like just share with them what you're excited about. Sponsorship is a free way to help. Giving back, share with them about angel wings or whatever you want to do, all right? And tell Jonathan that, like, now, he's on now. And then you've got your seed plans and having fun with them. You know, like how he said to Ms. Jones, like, hey, if you want to buy, you know, $20,000 today, like, I'll take you to the Bahamas tomorrow. You know, like, whatever, have fun with them. Like, hey, if you just want to write me a check for this, that'd be awesome. You know, we could go on a vacation together, or we could send you and your whatever kids to go do playing. But it's just having fun with them and sharing those big numbers and putting those big numbers in their head. And so we're going to walk through this. But I want to switch gears because I'm going to go through all the sales stuff. Once we go through and Frank walks through showing the kitchen, I'm going to just kind of